Greetings, this is Carapace the Changeling with another theory video. Last time I went over the limitations of changeling transformations, but today I would like to dip into the actual magic that changelings are capable of. MLP has made magic a big part of the world of Equestria. While we have seen various examples of huge magical spells, small forms of everyday magic have also been revealed, acting as bug repellent, keeping food fresh, to explain never spoiling cupcakes, and even protection from the weather. We also see that some forms of magic are so everyday, it comes as no surprise, an example being the everyday telekinesis used by unicorns, which was present with the Kirin, and no one batted an eyelash at. So I wonder, what is the magical capacity of changelings as a race? While Chrysalis is an example of a changeling with a lot of magic, it doesn't exactly answer the question. Chrysalis is the queen, but that doesn't tell us what the magic for an average changeling would be. Can average changelings even use magic to begin with? For that, I have a solid yes. When the changelings first attacked Canterlot, we saw the drones using magic when they were dive-bombing the city. With glowing horns and green energy, it's obvious that magic is available to changelings, so how can we narrow this down further? Well, honestly, I can't say that we've seen many of the average changelings do anything else. This makes much of this fall into the realm of theory. Even during the changeling's second invasion, we don't really see any of the disguised ponies using magic to imitate the regular magics of the unicorns or Pegasus. And again, the only other time we see magic is from Queen Chrysalis herself. And even after the changelings reformed, we never really see any changelings use magic. And we see in their new kingdom, during their craft times, even changelings with horns are using their mouths to hold crayons instead of using telekinesis. We know that they can harness magic, so what gives? Well, part of the answer may lie here. We see brief moments after the changelings transform for the first time, Chrysalis emerges from the rubble and Thorax, in his new form, has his horns clearly glowing. Yet this is the only time that we see this. Like the others, he has never displayed magic beyond transformation. So what significance does this play? Why don't the other changelings use magic except for one time? Well, maybe the answer is simple. They don't really know how. We've seen with ponies that unicorns develop magic in magical bursts as foals, but still, what we've seen, they are still somewhat in control. When it happened to Pumpkin Cake, she was able to fly, phase, and use telekinesis without any real direction. So, what if changelings don't develop magic the same way? They are another species after all, and instead of innately knowing magic, they have to be taught magic, even for what could be considered basic skills. It makes more sense then, since Chrysalis wouldn't teach magic to her subjects unless it somehow directly benefited her, such as a technique that is purely offensive for raw power. So, what does this mean? In my previous videos, I have gone over how royal changelings are developed, and Thorax shows that he has some sort of potential post-transformation that hasn't really been expanded on. He could have just been reacting to a threat unconsciously, causing his horns to glow in preparation for something. What this means is that changelings by themselves have a capacity for magic, but not the natural inborn capacity to harness it the way that unicorns do. However, royal changelings, such as Thorax and Chrysalis, might have that ability. Part of their development into royals may allow them to tap into magic naturally, much like unicorns do, while other changelings must be taught how to harness any specific magic. This would mean that royal changelings have a purpose that's not just as a leader, but also a teacher for their subjects. That means if this theory is accurate, Chrysalis developed her magic and chose to teach the Hive a spell to aid in the invasion. but she kept the majority of what she has learned to herself. Remember, Chrysalis was the only queen. She never groomed any sort of apprentice, and it's never stated how old she actually is. If changeling magic is indeed easier for royals to tap into, and she is old enough to have mastered it, then the powers she has are ones that Thorax and Pharynx could learn potentially. And if they chose to, they could then pass it on to other changelings who wish to learn. So this means that Thorax and Pharynx may have duties and powers they're not even aware of. And it would be interesting to see them discover and develop them. It would give them some more material to use in later seasons. And how would the new forms play into all this? Well, in any case of changeling magic, we have seen horns glowing when they use it. So it may now be that just as some changelings no longer have the ability to fly because they lost their wings, some may no longer have the ability to harness magic, since they lack a horn. Well, luckily for changelings, it looks like none who lost their wings also lost their horns, so I guess we won't be seeing any equivalents of earth ponies among them. Wait a minute. If royal changelings can tap magic naturally, then can I? Okay, give me a sec. Okay, levitation. Well, that wasn't quite as easy as I thought. Anyway, leave a comment down below, and I gotta clean up this mess. This is Carapace the Changeling, signing out. Now, where did I put